right, everyone, welcome to the stream. We're going to get our camera here going in just a moment. Always an exciting camera thing to deal with right when stream comes time. How's everyone doing? I'm Media Garcia. Thanks for tuning in. We got a fun one in store here today. We're going to be getting into some lead scoring, which will be super good. It's a topic that I've talked about a few times already here. So there are a couple of parts to lead scoring that we have shared in prior videos. So you can find those videos on YouTube and Twitch and LinkedIn, where we're streaming actually right now as well. And we're going to keep the conversation going. So where we left off in parts 1 and 2, we've covered some foundational pieces, and then the talked about lead scoring. What is it used for, the definitions of it, which there's a lot of different definitions to it, so that's one piece of it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, lead scoring is about you and your goals that you have for your business and what you want to accomplish out of a score. And there are also a couple of different ways you can set up lead scoring. We are a HubSpot Platinum Solution Partner, so we showed you how to set up lead scoring using the custom properties for scoring within the HubSpot platform. But now we're going to actually today go through and show how to set up lead scoring using another lead scoring tool that is in HubSpot. So there's actually 2 ways to set up lead scoring. And there also are some other tools that do lead scoring as well, third-party tools. So if we have time, we'll get to those ones as well and just kind of look at like more broadly what's out there for lead scoring systems. All right, folks, I'm going to make one little adjustment here and we'll get right into it here. So I'm going to load up the screen. Let's see if we can get this to work. Hey, this is the camera I wanted originally. So we kicked it off with the other camera, but hey, we like this camera better. So welcome. Now you're on our primary camera here. Okay, so let's get our screen going here and let's go up into this. Perfect. Okay. We're gonna load up now look, if you haven't watched part 1 or part 2, don't worry about it. You can always go back to those. There's nothing like in those ones, like if you miss those, that if you're now watching this part that you're gonna like inherently not be ready for. And so wherever you're at with lead scoring, whether you've done it a lot, whether you've done it a little, that's all right. It's a good spot to be, because we're going to cover our bases and go through a couple examples. Now, when we're doing that, we are going to show what it looks like in one of our test environments and go through a couple examples of what that setup looks like. So once I get my sandbox set up here, we'll get that shared out. Okay, I think we're ready to share this now. All right, look at that. We are in a HubSpot portal, so let me click and drag this over, but not drag myself. There we go. All right, this is our test environment that we'll be working out of. In fact, I'm just gonna make this a bit larger and just like that. Good effect though. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I'm actually gonna pull up our YouTube channel as well and just show you the greatest hits of what we covered last time when we were going through the lead scoring system. And so let's go to our channel and find those out. By the way, if you haven't followed us on YouTube or LinkedIn, please do so. And also, please engage. This is a live stream, so happy to address questions in real time. And that's the whole reason for doing this. So I've given lots of presentations before online, and one of those is actually through the SCORE organization that I've done a lot of webinars on how to grow your business with the CRM. So I've been doing that for years. I've also have given like HubSpot open demos for many years on stream. So very great with addressing questions as they come up with real time. We have all the comment boxes open across LinkedIn and YouTube here. So feel free to ask your questions there in real time or even after the fact. You can also find more information about Media Garcia at www.mediagarcia.com. Okay, so let's take a look. We got our channel here. So we have a couple of different streams. I'm going to walk you through what our YouTube channel looks like. And so this is what we have. We are streaming right now. So if you go to youtube.com and search for Media Garcia or use this like @ symbol Media Garcia 2692 as the URL, you will find our page here. And there's a couple of different streams that we do. So first one is we do gaming streams, and sometimes we do gaming and AI together to see how they work together, right? So when we mix AI, when we mix gaming, we get fun, right? So, and how that practically looks is us going through and playing what is more like passive games, or games that we can play more passively, like simulators, particularly business simulators, ones that have business mechanics into them, which this game called TCG Card Shop Simulator has a lot of business mechanics. And here you can see that I'm using GPT to help me develop a forecast chart of when I'll have $1 million cash on hand inside our digital business here. So I'm playing the game, right? But we're also collecting data from the game, and then we're using that data and GPT together to get insights and also experiment with our revenue acceleration and to see how quickly we can grow, in this case, our business, right? And so the point we're making here, or the reason why we do this and why I enjoy doing this so much, is because I think these AI tools are very fascinating, and it's interesting to use them at a gaming level first, and even inside our personal and business life, of course. But when we use it inside gaming, we can actually set up experiments and tests and really monitor the results and the cause and effect of doing different things inside the game. And so you'll see here that for a minute here, or just a brief second, let me actually back up. Yeah, we had the spreadsheet of data. This is all like our business performance data. And then from that business performance data, you know, we are making revenue projections with AI and using data visualizations for them as well. So all this is being created dynamically. So that's by AI. So that's one type of stream we have. We also just do the good old-fashioned gaming streams like we had last night, where I'm in the community playing, in this case, Marvel Rivals. I was also experimenting with like how to update my stream to have some better like sounds and stuff like that. So I'm actually walking through how to like enhance the stream, again using GPT and AI. In this case, I was trying to figure out how to set up an audio track so I could listen to music in real time in my ear, and then but not have that be recorded as part of a Twitch VOD, so I don't get dinged with DCM or DMCA ping. So that's another version. We got the night. Right now we're playing Marvel Rivals. So if you're a Marvel Rivals fan, you might enjoy that. Yeah, you can also sometimes catch me strumming on the guitar, doing other things. I have talks here from talks that I've had in person at LeaderCon, and an introduction. Here's my SCORE webinar, testimonials, some clips, and we also have lots of HubSpot videos that we're going to be building out here too. If you go to the playlist tab, you can see the HubSpot playlist that we've created so far. And in this HubSpot playlist, let's pull it up here. We'll see the different prior videos that we've had about lead scoring. So this is what part 2. Let's just kind of look through part 2 and see if we can identify the greatest hits. I haven't set up the chapters yet, so that'll be something here we do soon. Basically, we introed the stream. We did a talk about all the different ways we stream. We go over a couple of different definitions. We looked at definitions from like Oracle. In this case, we looked at definitions from Wikipedia about what lead scoring is. Here's another definition from Salesforce, some stats from HubSpot about where leads come from. We showed a lead scoring template. That's one actually is created by HubSpot that shows how you can set different values for demographic, firmographic, and engagement data to set up your scoring. And let's see what else here. We made some personas and gave a shot to the Make My Persona tool, where a lot of times when you're creating lead scores, well, you need to create a lead score based on a persona that you have in mind. So is it in our prior cases, we used a persona by the name of Data-Driven Dana, who is a CMO or Chief Marketing Officer at a mid-cap company that's generating 500 million and is in the computer and software industry space. We also set up this scoring system inside HubSpot, and we use the original scoring tool, and where you create it within custom properties. This allows you to set up, as you can kind of see on screen here, just different prompts that you might include to, let's see here, can I get this bigger? Yep, perfect. To set up your lead scoring, right? So in this case, we were setting up this lead scoring for Data-Driven Dana that included things like have the CMO or Chief Marketing title, right? We even used ChatGPT to come up with other titles that might be appropriate to include as part of our lead scoring, because not everyone's going to have a CMO or a Chief Marketing Officer title. So in this case, it said, here's a couple of other titles we could use. And so we grabbed a couple of those as well to enhance our lead scoring system, like VP of Marketing in this case. And so we added a few more things there. And eventually we had a lot of different positive scores. We had some negative scores. And from that, we tagged a couple of different contacts in the database with these properties. So eventually, after we get done with this, we went into, like, for example, Daniel Schultz. We might have associated a record, or we set a custom property, and with that, we were able to see the updated scores things. It actually looks like the video is covering it, but why don't we pull it up on screen? Actually, now that we're here, we can go to our contacts. Might have been in a different test environment. So let me actually pivot environments here real quick. All right. Here we go. So we have these contacts that are now in our system that we tagged in part 2, and they're Daniel, Shannon, and Lisa, and they all have different lead scores. So we can see this super awesome scoring property that we created in our prior streams. And so if you met the criteria, you ended up getting 50 points. If you sort of met it, and meaning your job title, industry, etc., then you got some points. And then there were some points where you got negative. And in fact, I'll show you where those are. So on the properties area of HubSpot, it's a contact score. So we're going to select make sure that we have the contact object here. You can create scores for any object, in fact. So we are looking for the I think it's called super awesome scoring. And if I look at the rules, or the type here, the field type, we can see the scores that we ended up setting out at the end. So there was a score of 25 for the ideal job titles, a score of 10 for the okay job titles, and then a score of 25 for really great industries, a score of 10 for okay industry, right? And then we added actually a couple of negative scores. So one being for job titles that we might want to avoid in this example here, right? And then industries, right? So this would give us a score range likely of between 50 because if you have the best job title and the best industry, you get 50 points, right? So 50 points on the high end to negative 75 on the low end. And you might be somewhere in the middle too, based on any kind of combination of positive and negative factors you might find yourself here with, okay? So let's go to our contacts. And so we can see we've kind of intentionally set up the scene for Daniel, Shannon, and Dixon to have all those scores be visible. And let's pull up their records here. And I'm actually going to go to the screen only for this moment here. so everyone can see this clearly. I'll make a small adjustment here. This screen to be much smaller. Trickier said than that. That's fine for now. Okay, so here's our super awesome scoring system, and we got the individual records up here. So like Daniel, and you know, I actually want to see these scoring properties in here. So sometimes what we've done for our clients is we'll make a group sometimes where we'll have all the scoring properties kind of in one group, so they can see what is there. So let's actually customize our record, because right now it's not showing that on the default view for contacts. So what I'm going to is objects, contacts, the record customization tab. I'm clicking on this default view because that way it just makes a default for everyone. And then I will go to the, let's see here, I'm gonna go to, click on this more. Now if this window was maybe a little bit bigger, it might show it automatically. So I'll click on this activities, but I'm going to shrink it down here so it fits on screen. Okay, there we go. And there's these cards on the left-hand side. So this is showing you a preview of like what the record looks like. The contact, you know, kind of summary and action items up here in the upper left-hand corner. All your associations on the right-hand side, and then all the properties and communication, subscriptions, website activities over here, right? So we can go. I can add a card here, and I'm gonna click close the tour because I don't need the tour right now. I'm gonna create a card. I'll keep a card title. I'm just gonna call this lead scoring, and I'm gonna add the score to the field, and I'm also gonna add all the properties that are related to it into it as well. And then so we'll click add properties from this list, and we'll search for a super awesome scoring. Check that. And the ones that influenced it were the job title. And then we're going to add another property. And we'll add industry. Save. And I'm going to actually move our lead score field up. And we're good. So let's go back to Daniel's record and give this a refresh here. And I'm gonna scroll down. Oh, where'd it go? We don't have it yet. Let me double check my work. It's saying exit without saving, but it won't let me save. Curious. Let's make an edit and then try to save again. Success. Your changes were saved. Okay. Might have just not saved the changes from last time. For a second, let's look. We're going to go back to settings. Just add something here. So it wasn't letting me save because we already had a custom tab that didn't have any items on it, so I was not aware of that, and we just figured it out. So let's get back to business. That might be a growth gem, right? It's like, watch out for that. All right, yeah, that's definitely a growth gem, folks. Make sure your tabs, these tabs here, have values, otherwise, or has a card, at least a single card. You can't have a cardless tab. That's a growth gem. All right, keeping fingers crossed. Boom, here we go. Now we have our lead scoring group tab here and left on the heading. We have our super awesome scoring system, which is great as well. You can see the job title, CMO. Now the industry is blank, and I can explain that. So we're actually using industry from the company record when doing the contact scoring, because the industry would be is a company record, right? So, and then we can use the association between the contact and the company to find that industry. So because the industry lives here and not here, if I did want to pull it in, I could actually pull that in through a workflow. And in fact, we could just do that live. Why not? We haven't done workflows on screen before, but we'll do one now. So I'm just going to set up a workflow that brings in a company industry when the contact industry is blank. And so because I'm updating the contact record through this workflow, I'm going to want to start with a contact-based workflow. I'll come back on screen. All right, so we're going to start this contact-based blank workflow and the enrollment of it. Let's try this AI, use AI to generate. So copy, describe the condition that should start this workflow. Contact, I'm going to narrate it as well. Contact industry property is blank and associated company industry property is known. This one should actually say unknown. All right. Oh, wait, how do we generate a trigger group? Describe the conditions. Oh, wait, to generate under, oh, I need to enable my AI settings. Okay, 1 second. I haven't done this yet. Give users access to generative AI tools. All right, what are all the settings here? Boom, boom, boom. Let's listen to this.
To access tools and features that use generative AI powered by third-party providers to create text and media content. For the best results, make sure the below data access controls are also turned on. Without them, the AI tool and features won't have enough information to create content that's relevant and tailored to your organization. Give generative AI tools and features powered by third-party models access to specific account data. Allow the AI tools and features powered by third-party providers to access certain data so they can generate relevant content that's tailored for your organization and goals. Access is only given to relevant AI tools or features, and your data will never be used for model training by third-party service providers. Give the AI tools and features access to user-generated content, object, and property data in your CRM. Includes contacts, companies, deals, tickets, and customer feedback. Give the AI tools and features access to customer conversations data when generating summaries and replies. Includes call transcripts and recordings, emails and chats. Give the AI tools and features access to automatically process your organization's public files and files stored in the Files tool. Any files with sensitive information should not be stored in the Files tool. Allow all users in your account to use Copilot. 2. Turn Copilot on. The setting that gives users access to generative AI tools and features must also be turned on. This is necessary because Copilot uses generative AI features and any available data to give helpful and relevant assistance. For the best experience, the CRM data and customer conversations data settings should also be on. Users with additional permissions restrictions, such as restrictions access to read, create, and edit CRM records, will not have the ability to access data or complete those actions through Copilot. By using this tool in beta, you comply with HubSpot's beta terms. Beta terms. Learn more about Copilot.
All right, so those are all our AI items here. Okay, so because this is our sandbox, I feel
give the AI tools and features access to.
Hang on there, buddy. I feel we're just gonna opt into all these. Okay, good. So now I'm at, let's see if we can just do a quick refresh on this and if that'll be sufficient. Hey, there we go. So now we got a red trigger for that. And so I think that's actually probably a good call out for another growth gem. What is a growth gem? Well, growth gems are things that can help you grow, right? So in this particular gem, I think is around the AI tools that are available in HubSpot. So if you are already using HubSpot and you haven't turned on the AI features, give them a look and look at what you're consenting to and opting into, of course, right? And then consider using them. You're going to start seeing the smart CRM come into place, right? So, you know, decades of old, right? In the past, it's like your CRM was just a fancy database, and sometimes not even fancy. Sometimes it's a dumpster fire of a database, right? That everyone just throws more fuel into, and not a lot of value comes out of it, right? Well, now, because so much of the CRM was like you get out what you put in, right? And it required people with best practices and the proper behaviors and the data quality and all that stuff had to kind of come together to really make sure that you're getting the value out of it. Now you're going to have a smart CRM that's going to help you with data cleansing. It's going to help you with customizing things. It's going to help you with creating content for your messaging and for your campaigns. And so, you know, these are all time savers in many cases. They aren't perfect, at least right now, frankly, right? But certainly a huge advocate for using them and practicing using them, because as with any tools, it's just about how well you use it. So that's the growth gem. Now let's see if AI can actually come up with the trigger based on this. This is probably as close as I could describe this. So hopefully, keep my fingers crossed. I think we got a good one here, folks. Let's see. I can't really see it, so hold on. I think I gotta make my window bigger. There we go. So check it out. Industry is known. Contact associate to any company. Oh, I can't see it all. Do details. Here we go. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So I think I got AI got it. So I could have clicked 40 times to try to set up this exactly, and I know all the bajillion things to click because I've done this manually thousands of times before. So anyone that's doing this for the first time isn't going to necessarily know, oh, I should use the industry field. Oh, there's an industry on the contact object, and there's also an industry on the company object, and you're telling me that they don't sync all the time, like, whoosh, right? And so, so that's a growth gem, folks. Like, know that sometimes you have properties out of the box in your CRM, particularly the HubSpot CRM, that aren't syncing. So their industry could be on both, but they don't necessarily talk to each other. So you might have to set up a workflow to sync those, or use any kind of data enrichment tool like Breeze AI or like an Apollo or what have you, to enrich the records and make sure that it gets at the appropriate place. Okay, growth gem over. Now we have this trigger set up. Now I'm going to say, yeah, that works. Let's keep the trigger. And now we have this trigger set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy a company value. So there's a action here called copy company value. And we want to copy from industry. And we're going to target the contact. So we'll update the contact record. And it's also going to be industry. Boom shakalaka. So now that is saved. And we're going to click on this edit and give it a nice name. Copy. Hold on a second, let's narrate it. Copy company industry to contact record. Let's generate a description with that. Copies the industry property value for contacts with a known industry. Copies the industry for contacts with it's actually an unknown industry. When unknown. Let's add that to the title too. Click save. There we go. Now we got our trusty workflow. We're going to, holy moly, look at how big this screen looks like on our, when did that happen? Let's adjust that real quick. Here's our title, description that we created. Our triggering criteria is here, and then the action we're taking here is there as well. I'm just going to publish this, and it's going to ask me, do you want to enroll the 3 contacts? And in this case, it's yes, because these are the contacts that we set the lead score on. So we're going to turn on the workflow. These contacts are going to get enrolled. I'll be able to go to the enrollment history here to see that Daniel, Shannon, and Lisa all did in fact go through this workflow. So we're cooking with bacon. And now if I go and refresh Daniel's record, let's go full screen so you can see. Hey, look at this. Computer software is now an industry on Daniel's record. And if we go to Shannon, this was, oh yeah, we got to refresh Shannon's record here because we made some customizations. All right, so here's Shannon's record, automotive, and then Lisa's. Give it a refresh. Same thing here. We got retail. Perfect. And now we can even get more fancier. Let's go back to our contact screen. All right, let's see with larger. All right. And now I can see the scores are here, but let's look at those scoring properties as well. So we're going to bring in job title and industry. Let's also move them to the top so they're close to the scoring system. There we go. So we can see our 3 contacts. We can see the industries we given to them, the titles we given to them, and that equates to the subsequent score. All right, great. So that's how we've can customize our records to show lead scoring. And we've also demonstrated the connection between all of that as well. And then we've even customized our view here so that we could see the properties that we set up for lead scoring, as well as the subsequent lead scoring score that they have from that. Great. So this is all one way of customizing and getting the value out of the lead score that we produce. But I'm going to show you now a new way to create lead scoring, and we're going to bring kind of this old model with us and kind of explain how it could be valuable and some distinctions that we might want to determine from it as well. We'll take it to the next level pretty much. All right, so we'll go to marketing here and then down to lead scoring. And this is a newer way to create lead scoring out of HubSpot. And so there's this create score with AI. Hey, why not? Let's give it a roll. Okay, so there's contact engagement and a contact fit score. So based on whether you do contact or companies, you get the option to do these 2. Let's just run through an example for each. I'm just going to click on this contact engagement score. Now, because this is a sandbox environment, we actually don't really have a lot of true engagement that I might be able to demonstrate here. So just know that it might not produce the kind of results that we're expecting to get, because again, this is an environment that is just with test data. And look, here we go. So we couldn't find enough contacts and moved from lead to sales qualified lead between here and here. So we need an environment with better data. We'll probably keep that for next time, because I'll find someone who does have some engagement data that we want to use in this case as a case study. So we'll get to that piece. But so for now, we're not going to use AI to create a score. We'll just click on the create score and show how we can do this manually and bring over our existing score. So again, there's a contact engagement score and there's a contact fit score. In this case, because we're looking at industry and job title, that's a fit score. Because fit score is going to be based off of demographic information or firmographic information about your contact, as opposed to engagement score, which is going to be about, are they opening and clicking emails, and they go to your website? Do they download a bunch of stuff from it? Do they go to a webinar? Do they go to an event? Do they unsubscribe from your information? Do they call you? Do they call back? Right? All that stuff roll into a content engagement score. So now if we look at content fit score, let's create that. It's going to go through a demo, which I'm going to skip. And we create property groups. So property groups allow us to organize scores into one or many groups to manage their limits. This becomes very useful when you want to set some constraints on the scoring range, right? So what's nice, what I recommend is to have a scoring system on a 100-point scale. So your most ideal perfect leads get like 100 points, right? And everyone kind of from that will decrease based on the fit of that score, right? So let's add a property group here, and we'll go just on screen for now. All right, so we're gonna add a property group. And for this limit, again, we can set a limit. Right now it's 100 to 500. I would just go for 100, to be honest. 100 points, I think, just makes sense instinctually to humans. You know, when you get into like different kind of point systems beyond that, it's a little more abstract. Let's see here. What are these definitions? Okay, so the score limit. Every score starts at 0 and it's updated based on the criteria. And then you set group score limits, so each grouping can have a score. So you basically end up allocating between your groups the total net score. So like in this example, I'll try to zoom out a little bit if we can see these at the same time. We have a limit of 100 points, and between two groups it would be 50 and 50. Like if I were to set 1 to 30, it's going to say, hey, wait a second, you're missing 20 points. You need to put 20 points in here, right? So, and again, if I had another property group, you know, it's adding actually right away the net difference to get to 20. With this, right, we can set limits on how much individual grouping might be. So if you want to look at lots of different groupings, like you might this is a weighting system, right? To be able to say the weightedness of these group of properties and values is this much, and the weightedness of those properties and values are this much, right? Now, because we have a pretty rudimentary and simple scoring system that we've created, and I'm not going to go super in depth on the setup of it, I'm going to illustrate to you the approach to creating the scoring system and then how it works. And then in our next lead scoring stream, we'll actually share some formulas and some setups that we believe are the best fit for companies that maybe aren't using lead scoring yet to start using it. So right now we're just going to base off the job title and the industry, right? Maybe we'll include another one, we'll see. So to do that, I'm going to click on this add object, and I'm going to click on contact, and let's go to our job title. And I can say is equal to, and if we compare this to what we had before in our lead scoring system, I'm going to find it here real quick. Here are all the properties we used from before, and I believe we can actually just copy these. Let's see here. Can we do that? No. Okay. Okay, so it's CMO, Chief Marketing Officer. Okay, so we'll kind of rattle through a few of these as we're setting them up. CMO, oops, that's not it. CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, VP of Marketing. What are the other ones that we set up? Head of Marketing and Director of Marketing. Okay, great. Great. And with the prior one, we added 25 points if they met this, and we can say, yes, add 25 points if they're equal to any of these, right? We can also set the score individually. So this is a nice little feature. I'll show you why in just a second here. Right now, I'm just going to score it all together because that's how we set up in version 1. Now, what we did in the other version was we set up, because the way this is structured, you have to give it the points, and there's no way to score individually, right? So here's a growth gem for y'all. The new lead scoring system here that we're working on, this one, allows you to set up a lot of different properties and then score them individually. Where in the older model, you needed to set all the individual ones and actually have like repeated filters. So here's like one filter for all the CMO items. Notice we have another job title here for the negative scores that we wanted to bring down. And then we have another job title property right here that these are 10 points, right? So we needed to split out these because this is how you scored individually on the original, like the older version, the V1 lead scoring model, right? So this actually could be a nice time saver and also really clean things up for us, because we could, add another property, and we could go a job title like this, right? And we could say, yep, this one's going to be equal to any of, and this one was things like marketing analyst, then maybe like marketing manager, etc., right? And this one will added 10 points. We could do it this way. This setup right here would be fairly in line with like what we have here, and then we just have to set another property group for the other ones. Now, the only thing is that's probably just a little more visual clutter here, because we could just add all these same titles into our other one, which I'm going to start doing right now. Marketing analyst. What are the ones that we got here? Digital marketing specialist. More here, SEO analyst. Marketing coordinator. And last but not least, growth marketing analyst. While we're at it, why don't we just add all the negative ones here that we had as job titles? So those were marketing intern, marketing associate, researcher, freelancer. Great, so I think we have all those in there. Now let's choose to score these all individually. And so with that, we'd say these ones were 25, right? Because those are going to be our most ideal data-driven data. And then once we get to the analyst, those are still good, just not as great as the data-driven data. And then once we got to the interns, it was actually a subtraction of points. And what do we do? Did we subtract 25? Yeah, we did. So we're going to change this to a subtract 25. Great. Now I can get rid of this one because it's no longer needed. And here we go. Now we have a lead scoring system where we're using job title, and we set a bunch of different job titles here that we want to either add scores or subtract scores from based on these different keywords that are set in the job title. And I think we'll just do one scoring group, since we're going to do a very simple setup here. And now we'll set we're going to add another object, and this one's going to be industry. Because we're copying an industry from company to the contact record, we can use the industry on the contact record. And for this one, we will want to copy the values in precisely as they are. So let's go find those. Here they are. Computer software, information technology and services. Let's do this equal to, am I going to have to type it out exactly? Let's see. associated company. The contact. There we go. So in this case, I think the growth gem is, even though oh, we still have the growth gem up from before, even though we have we started to bring the industry value over into the contact record, because at the company level it's set as this checkbox field, right? We're able to search on it in different ways than you can when we're searching within a text field. So text fields, when you're searching and setting these kind of operator values to, it's just going to be a little trickier than it would be if like you might have to type it out exactly as you'd expect it, where if you have a choice field, you're going to have these like pre-baked options all ready to go. So here's industry. The two I think we had were computer software and what was the other one? Information technology. Let's get that. Great. And those ones we're going to add 25 points. And there were two other fields, or two other industries we had. We brought in automotive, and then we brought in retail. And so actually, let's set these scores individually. So we had computer software and information tech at 25 each. Automotive we gave 10, and retail we're going to subtract. Yeah, I think we were going to subtract 50 from that one. And there we go. So now we have, with this other lead scoring tool, we've built out our model. And so it's our fit score. Let's give it a review. Let's turn it on. Great. So now the lead score for this is going to show up in a lead score card within the contact record. So we'll go check that out and see where it lives. And here are some other recommendations, right? Some best practices to consider. What are those best practices? Perfect. So those are the things we'll look for. So let's open up Daniel's record. Let's give it a refresh. And we'll look for this lead score card. Hopefully it's here. Okay. I don't think I saw it. Let's do a search. It might not be. I may have to customize the, oh here, no, we might have to customize the record customization. So let's check that one more time. There it is. So I found it by going into the contact record object, the contact record in settings, and then record customization, and all our associations on the right hand side here. And so I'm going to find this one in particular and bring it up. And in fact, I might remove just a few of these for now. Just we're not using them. So just to kind of clean things up. Keep our lead score. We can always add these back in the future. Save and exit. Okay, so let's go to Shannon's record. And here we are. So now you can see this lead score tab looks a little different, right? A little more visual, which I like too. And we can actually see low, boom, easy, right? See, like when we see this super awesome scoring on the left-hand side, it doesn't really, let me show you full screen. It doesn't really make a lot of, doesn't really, oh wait, yeah, I gotta adjust here, this screen a little bit so you can actually see. So now on the right hand side on this, we can see this low fit score based on the fit score model that we created, 20. right? So I got 20 points. And we can see that here as well. Now I got 20 points because job title is marketing analyst, so you get 10 points from that. And industries automotive, you get 10 points. So then we can see this, the scores match. It's just that this lead score tab is a little more visual, right? So you can actually see it like a red, yellow, green scale. So it calls it out. And you can also see score history, which can be very helpful in being able to see the movement of a score over time, right? Where you don't have that same kind of functionality here, right? So that's another growth gem, folks. This lead scoring over time could be huge because, you know, it's going to help your marketers and your sales teams to be able to see, you know, over time, like what are the things that people did and that influence changes in their score. Right? So that's a growth gem to harvest. Okay, so we got that one. Why don't we look at another example here? So we have Daniel's record. Let's refresh Daniel. Daniel is at medium score. Now here's actually, okay, so we got another growth gem just from experimenting with this. He's a 50, but actually 50 is the highest score we could get. This points to an opportunity that we have in our lead scoring model. So let's actually go back and edit the scores here. So if you remember, we set a score limit to, you can only set it to one of these limits, 100, 200, 300, 400, right? So we'll want to make sure that our scores would allow someone to actually get to 100 or get to the score limit, right? If you can't even get to the limit, then you're gonna have things that show up like this, like Daniel shows up as a 50, even though we have the most ideal situation. We actually probably want to adjust the scores so that, like, for instance, or maybe our job titles are a higher score than the other one. So let's do that. Let's make some adjustments here. So we're going to iterate our scoring system so that it can provide a better result for us. Let's get everything on screen here. So we're going to score these individually. I'm actually going to increase the CMO so that I'll increase the high end of these titles to 50. So that way, if someone has these really ideal titles, they'll get the 50 points. Let's update these so-so ones to 25. And we can still keep these ones at a negative 25. In fact, let's actually just change it to negative 50. Them even a bigger negative. Okay, now let's do the same update for the industry. So let's add 50 points for industry. That way, if someone has the ideal title and industry, then they get all the points, right? Okay, let's review an update. Boom shakalaka, clicking update. It says it could take 30 minutes to evaluate your contacts, so you can refresh the page to see the latest data. That's great. We'll probably just refresh this. Who knows how quickly this is going to run through. Okay, it did it. Great. And so we can actually see a little bit of analysis here too, which is really interesting to say, you know, how many contacts were scored, the average score, min score. Because this is test data, most of the stuff is in the 0 to 49 range, which is considered low, right? With medium being 50 to 74, high being 75 to 100, right? So now let's go back to Daniel's record and let's see if this update has taken place yet. Hey, look at that. It is. Right, so now Daniel has a high tag, right, and fit score is 100, meaning, you know, based on our very simple lead scoring model, because Daniel has the ideal job title and associated company industry, he gets all the points. So now Daniel's at 100. Let's look at Shannon. Shannon's at a 75, right, because Shannon had the Let's see here. Which one did Shannon have, actually? Marketing analyst and automotive. Oh, I think we wanted Shannon to be a medium contact, but I might have added marketing analyst. Well, marketing analyst has 25 points, right? Was it industry? Oh, it was industry. Automotive, we just wanted to add 25 points to that, actually. So let me click save, review and update. I think we want Shannon to essentially come up with a score of 50. Okay, or 25. Let's see. Let's see what happened here. The Shannon's a marketing analyst, should have 25 points from there, and then add 25 points from automotive. So that ought to give you the score of 50. That's good enough. There we go. Just need to refresh a couple times. So now this Shannon's got the score of 50, meaning it was kind of like the OK job title with the OK industry. All right, and then let's look at our final contact here. Which is Lisa Hughes. Pull up Lisa, an intern, right? And this was a fit score of 0 because the negative points essentially zeroed out any possibility. Okay, so it doesn't go negative. So there's no negative scoring. Like it won't. The value itself won't go negative. Where it could go negative in this old, the original lead scoring property setup, you could go negative. With the new lead scoring, you don't go negative. You just don't get the points. And this could be useful if, say, like you have a lot of positive factors and some negative factors, and then it kind of just evens out between all of that. Okay, great. Let's see the history. Do we get changes when the model changed? It looks like it. Basically, it says that, we're at 25 and the score is 0 still because that's the change. Let's look at Daniels because Daniels would have actually had a meaningful change. Yeah, we can see here that it kind of moved between 0, 50, 0, 100, etc., just kind of based on the different changes we're making. All right. So that's how the new system, the new lead scoring system works within HubSpot. That is going to be the conclusion of our stream today. We showed what we did before, how the new lead scoring system works inside HubSpot. And our next part, we'll be going through third-party tools that also do lead scoring and other approaches, and also have lead scoring formulas ready to share with all of you, and how to take this away and implement your lead scoring within your own HubSpot environment, or even if you're using a different CRM or tool for lead scoring, at least you can come with some best practices and recommendations on different lead scoring systems that can get you there. We're going to be ending our stream on LinkedIn, but hey folks, we will be continuing on YouTube and Twitch, where we'll actually pivot into more of a working session style activity. So we'll be doing a working session, and so you can like and follow us across those to see when we're live. And just a reminder, we have a couple different types of streams to handle that. So we will be right back. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. get back to it. Thanks for the brief break here, and now we're back. So we'll just be getting into some kind of daily activities, wrapping up some business stuff. What else would I do? Some daily habits, and then we'll get into some Marvel Rivals a little bit later. So to do that, we're going to wrap up on YouTube. So we're stopping on YouTube, and we're just going to be streaming on